Someone was asking me, how do you add dye to the air conditioning system on a car? And to that I say like this. I take a pipe, something with some flex. I like to add to the low side, and I hold it up vertical. It came from there. This is on an old Honda. I take the dye, squeeze it up into the reservoir, and then don't look at the viewfinder on the camera, only look at the tip and pour it in there. I'm giving a generous dose of dye because this leaks out in a week. And I can't decide if I should say suppose or suspect. But either way, I think this thing's got a leak in 3 or 4 different places. So I want a lot of dye in it so that I'll be able to get enough dye to find them. So that's how you do it, and then I'm going to clean it up real good, anything that's spilled over, and then I'm going to put it together, and then I'm going to clean it again after it's together. I like to use brake parts cleaner to clean it once it's together. That's how I do it. So I'm working on a little Honda Accord, and we got an air conditioning system leak. Where we go into the firewall is right back here. And that's where I thought the leak was going to be. I thought it was going to be there and here based on the guy who replaced the lines and wound up having it leak out. So anyway, I put the system full of dye. And as you look across here, you can see a little bit of the dye here. And maybe that was from just when I put the dye in or not. I thought I cleaned it pretty well, but I see some there. And then when you look down through here, things don't look too bad. Let me grab a light so you can show it up on camera a little better. You look through here and things are looking okay, not too bad. You get going along here and you can see a little bit of wetness, not really. There's a little bit of a dye right there. Let me show you what it looks like when you turn on the camera though. Use the yellow glasses. See if I can hold this in such fashion to do both. Alright, so going across this line, there's just, no dye, no big deal, nothing. Kazam! It's definitely a leaking O-ring on both sides of the nuts. You can see the dye. And as far as this cap goes, this is the low side cap. It's just blowing out everywhere. This is a conversion, but you can see that it's just dumping the stuff out. I mean, it's very apparent. You look down inside of here. I gotta do an adjustment. Holding these funky glasses over the camera. So anyway, looking down through here, nothing. Across this one, you can see just a little bit of dye sitting on a spider web right there. And even that shows up like crazy. And then you come over here, kaboom! I mean, it's just all dye. You look around from this side, you can see it was just pouring down like the AC oil with the dye in it. It becomes very apparent where the leaks are. We have 3 leaks. We have one at the conversion port here. We have another leak at this union at the O-ring. And then down in here, something's failed horribly. I gotta open it up and isolate where it came from, but you can definitely tell that there's a significant leak there. So it's nice to have the dye so that you can get in there and see specifically where stuff is. For example, we knew that it was leaking here. You can see the residue everywhere. You can see a little here, but when you see it on both sides of the nut, you know that O-ring's bad. So it's just really nice to be able to have that confirmation. I put 2 shots of dye. This is the dye that I use just because I like being able to meter it in there. I use the Certified AC Pro, but it's just like, you ever see the product Fuel Stabilizer? How it's got the little port on it to where you can fill something up and measure it out. I mean, that's what this does. I really like that. And I used, looks like 1/2 ounce. Which is actually a lot of dye for a system. But with this, where the guy says there's a few things where I couldn't find the right O-ring and I just put it together anyway, I'm like, dude, I want a lot of dye in there so that I can find multiple leaks at one time and not have to waste a lot of the R134A because it's getting expensive these days because they're phasing it out to go with that propane based one. So anyway, I just thought I'd share that. It's a pretty good example of dye and how dye can make your job a lot easier.